Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. It's GauntletX, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today we have the special April Fool's Day Golden Sealed event. This is going to be a sealed event where instead of 6 packs from a normal set, we're opening all rares and mythics just from Arena as a whole. So going to be incredibly explosive, incredibly chaotic, and hopefully incredibly fun. We will find out pretty soon. Now, because we are playing this event completely for free, and we're going to be opening like 72 rares or something, this is a phantom event. We don't get to actually keep any of the cards that we open, but we get some free prizes on the tracker. You get a free random rare for your first win, your second win, and you get the very adorable Rambling Possum sleeve for your third win. So you get to bust open a ton of rares to play around with during the event, and you get to play as much as you want, getting some prizes for your first 3 wins. So seems like a pretty fun time. Very excited to see what kind of chaos we get to build and play against today. So without further ado, let's hop into the event. Oh my god! Well, so here's our rares and mythics for the sealed pool. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. Yep. So you do open exclusively rares and mythics. I think one thing you want to really keep an eye out for is interaction, like removal spells, because those are usually only printed at common and uncommon. Removal spells and counter spells and stuff. So there's very few that you'll find at rare. Cards like Pylon, I think, are going to be really important. Really high value cards to stick in your deck. God, there's just so much. There's so much to choose from. Can definitely keep an eye out on your mana fixing as well, the dual lands you managed to open. So we have 2 green-white duels. We've got a black-white duel, a black-green duel. So we've got a lot of mana fixing overlapping between black, green, and white. So that's really cool. Colorless cards, Sir Ginger can fit into any deck and be fine. Staff of Completion. That can add a mana of any color. That is also mana fixing. We do have to shoot ourselves in the face for it, which can be pretty painful, but cool card. Hold up, we've got double Vanifar and Doppelgang towards specifically green-blue. We've got 3 Sharp-Eyed Rookies out of green. That's interesting. We've got Herd Migration for mana fixing. We can discard this to search for any basic land, reveal it, gain 3 life, and put that in our hand. I kind of like going green here. We actually have 3 pieces of fixing out of green. We have Herd Migration grabbing any basic. We have Nissa giving us a mana of any color every time we play a land. And we have Watley grabbing any basic. So that gives us great fixing to help splash around and play more colors. And then, of course, if green is one of our core colors in the deck, we get 3 Sharp-Eyed Rookies that keep getting bigger and giving us clue tokens for card draw as the game progresses. So I'm a pretty dang big fan of that. And then Hulking Raptor obviously makes the cut. Audience with Tristani. Create a 0/1 plant, draw cards equal to the number of differently named creature tokens you control. So it depends on what else we have in the sealed pool. For now, I'm not going to run that. And I'm not going to run Teething Wormlet because you want a lot of artifacts with that card. We have 2 maximum. I will put Staff of Completion in here for now for fixing, so probably going to keep it simple. Play green at the core so that we can splash around if we want to. We only have 5 white cards total, so probably not playing white. One of them is the Eternal Wanderer, which is super, super, super powerful, so that's tempting, but she does cost double white, which can be quite difficult. It looks like we have a lot of blue cards, so we could just go Simic here with excellent fixing out of green, triple Sharp-Eyed Rookie to get going early, and most importantly, some Vanifars and a Doppelgang for some super, super powerful multicolored spells. Oh, we have 2 Doppelgangs too. Oh my god, I didn't even realize. Good grief. We don't have any green-blue duels, which is slightly awkward. But yeah, I like this. And then, what are the blue spells we have? Oh, well, that could be awkward. A Call is a card draw engine if you can have artifacts entering the battlefield. frequently, which I guess, while we're only probably running Staff of Completion, I guess maybe we can run Surginger just to help that out. We might be able to get clue tokens and food tokens and stuff to trigger this card. So we have clue tokens off of the 3 Sharp-Eyed Rookies, potentially. It's interesting. It's not going to immediately go in the deck, but Kite Sail Larcenist will, turning anything into just a treasure token when you play it. Steam Core Scholar is great, gives you some card selection when you play it, even if you just draw 2, discard 2. That's a good card. Intrude on the Mind gives you huge card draw. So that's great. We still need 7 more cards, and there's a lot of high mana value like X mana spells like Silver Scrutiny, Lost in the Maze, Extraordinary Journey, Hercule's Final Meditation, Conspiracy Unravel. There's some insanely expensive cards here in blue. Oh, there's a Teferi Planeswalker. Well, that's just straight up powerful. We'll play that too, for sure. So again, looking at our mana fixing, by playing green, we get Nissa, we get Huatli, we get Herd Migration. I do think we want to splash for another color, rather than play too many like 7 mana and X mana spells here. Don't really want to load my deck up with these. So if we splash for any other color, maybe it's black, so we can actually have some interaction, some removal like at the Pylon. But that's it out of black for actual removal. I guess the Isildur's Fateful Strike is probably playable here because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legendary? 6 legendary permanents? Yeah, we need a legendary creature or planeswalker on the board for it to work. Oh, it doesn't show us in the little stat tracker there. We have to manually check. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess that does work. Do we have any Golgari cards? No, we have a Golgari dual land, but no Golgari rares. We've got Lazav here if we're playing black. That gives us another legend to make Isildur's Fateful Strike castable more often. So that's a thing we can do. Oh, if I had more white cards, Boros aggro would look sweet with 2 War Leaders Call and an Aurelia. But I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red cards and 5 white. One of which is completely unplayable. A Tale for the Ages just doesn't do anything in this sealed pool. So Boros aggro is not really available to us. Yeah, I think I'm just going to splash a little black for some removal. And that also just makes all of our mana fixing a little better because now there's more of a purpose in running it. It will help fix towards Lazav, towards Pylon, towards Isildur's Fateful Strike. And I guess Outrageous Robbery could be fun. I mean, might as well. It's April Fool's. Let's just play our opponent's deck against them. If we make it to really high mana values, take an Outrageous Robbery there as well. 2 more cards to have a 40-card deck here. Talion's Messenger is probably decent. Even if it's the only fairy we're going to have, it can still set up our draws and help find the mana we need or help find the interaction we need. Some of the stuff that we might have less copies of here, so Talion's Messenger seems fine. And I guess a Kalpa is probably okay because it's another legend so that we can cast Isildur's Fateful Strike, and it does work with clue tokens that we could be getting off Lazav, we could be getting off Sharp-Eyed Rookie. So there are some ways for it to trigger now and then, and that fits into the curve pretty decently. Yeah, and the Sharp-Eyed Rookie evolves. It gets its +1/+1 counter and its clue every time you play a creature with power or toughness greater. So a Kalpa is also really good at triggering the Sharp-Eyed Rookie by being a 5 toughness card. Like we could curve out Rookie into Messenger, into a Kalpa. That's a 4/4 Rookie on turn 4. Yeah, this looks fun. This looks sweet, but I'm sure basically anything you build in this format looks sweet. I know there's definitely a lot of fan favorite, powerful rares on the sidelines here that you would want to build with yourselves, but all I can say about that is this is my deck. This is the deck I want to build. Everyone has their own options for insane hyper powerful decks out of basically any sealed pool here. Like, we could play almost any 3-color pair and get away with it easily, so definitely recommend playing the event yourself. It is completely free, and it looks wild. But this is the deck that I'm certainly feeling today. So let's make sure that our mana looks good. We've got 11 blue cards, 11 green cards, and 4 black, so we want a pretty even split on green and blue, although green gives all of the mana fixers to our deck, so we want a little bit more green than blue. So we're on a 7-6 splits. I think I cut another swamp here, and we actually go 6-8 for the split. So 8 green sources, 6 blue sources, and 4 black. The reason being that the green sources have a few cards in this deck that can pull out the blue or black source if we need them. You know, one last thing that I am going to do here that's probably more cute than anything is swap out the swamps for some dual lands, just so that we could hit a higher domain count for herd migration if we ever top deck it in the late game instead of having to discard it to mana fix early. So like, we get to play a Lush Portico over one of our forests. We get to play a Raucous Theater over one of our swamps, and we get to play Shadowy Backstreet over one of our swamps. And that just makes it so we might have Domain 5 if we're super lucky when we top deck Herd Migration, so might as well. It does mean we're going to be running more tap lands, so our sources are going to be hitting the board tapped, and maybe we have to play a little off curve sometimes, which can definitely be a downside, but it doesn't actually make our mana any worse in terms of the number of green sources, blue sources, or black sources. Now I'm just running another tapped green source instead of an untapped green source. A couple tapped black sources instead of untapped ones. So now we will call it a deck there. All right, here's a look at the final deck list for today. Your nice, casual little 27 rare deck. The kind of stuff you open all the time in sealed. We're super used to this, but it's a really sweet, really quick deck, actually. It's got great stuff going for it in the early game and the late game. We're trying to get things started very consistently with Sharp-Eyed Rookies. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that gets a +1/+1 counter and a clue token every time we play a creature with greater power or toughness than it. And basically every creature in our deck will trigger this at least once, because we have 3 toughness creatures like Lazov, Nissa, Huatli, Talion's Messenger, Kitesail, Larcenist, Akalpakal, and we have 3 power creatures like Sir Ginger, Vanifar in the late game, Hulking Raptor in the late game. So plenty of ways to make these at least a 2-mana 3/3 that gives us a clue token, which is already a super, super sick deal early in the game. And it just gets the ball rolling really aggressively, having so many 2-mana 3-power creatures between all the rookies and the Sir Ginger here. So really quick, aggressive curve with a bunch of great value plays for all these creatures, and then still plenty of really explosive late game plays like the Teferi Planeswalker, some X-mana win conditions like Doppelgang and Outrageous Robbery. Just really looks like this deck has just about everything going for it, and I'm really excited to see not only how this deck does, but what kind of insane nonsense our opponents are up to as we head into the gameplay. Here we are on the plate for game 1. I think our deck is better than this kind of opening hand. These are both like 8+ mana finishers, and this we can't even cast in the early game, so I think that's a definite mulligan. For this format, almost any deck is better than that kind of opening hand. And this looks a lot better. We have Sharp-Eyed Rookie into Nissa. We have the Fateful Strike for removal. We will have a legend on board if they don't kill our Nissa. So we will keep this one. And I think I have to ditch the Outrageous Robbery here, because I definitely want to keep a black source so that I can just use the Nissa landfall for the second off Isildur's Fateful Strike. But I also don't want to ditch a blue source when I have, you know, blue as like the secondary color in this deck. We have like 11 blue cards coming up. So would like access to all these colors. So we'll get rid of the very expensive endgame win condition of Outrageous Robbery. Alright, our opponent starts with a swamp, and we'll get that curve started with the turn 2 Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Alright, our opponent's on black-white. They get to jam down an Invasion of Gobakon And that's actually really annoying because they get to tax Nissa, so she's going to cost 5 mana, which means that the Fateful Strike's not going to happen for a long time because we need a legend on board for that. Mortuary's not a good draw because we don't want lands right now, but it is the best land we could draw. At least we hit something that surveils. We find a Sir Ginger, which I will keep because that will trigger the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, make it a 3/3, give me a clue token. I can spend turn 4 playing this and cracking a clue. And by cracking a clue, we will put another +1/+1 counter on Sir Ginger, trigger that ability. It's actually a spicy little synergy there too. Tenth District Hero. So once they have a bunch of cards in their graveyard, they can start exiling those for great value. Speaking of great value, Gumdrop Poisoner. Once they have 5 mana, they can sacrifice this clue token and cast the Poisoner and give a creature -3/-3 when it enters the battlefield. So a removal spell and a creature all in one. Jam in the rookie. 3/3 Vigilance attacks in very favorably here, so that's sweet. And they know what our hand is, so they know I'm not holding up an instant. We might as well crack the clue right now. Scry first, Officer Ginger, and get rid of that land. And we draw another Sharp-Eyed Rookie. All right. Well, I will probably want to play that before I cast Nissa, which is slightly awkward, but as long as Sir Ginger's still around, then our Fateful Strike is still castable. Outrageous Robbery for 2. Fair enough. 4 mana, draw 2. You got it. Lazav is our draw. So I could cast another Sharp-Eyed Rookie and trigger both by playing Lazav? Or no, I won't trigger both. This one's already been buffed. I think this is better than just playing Nissa for the turn. Get 2 threats on the board, a 3/3 Vigilance and a 2/3 instead of just a 3/3. We'll offer the trade into the 10th District Hero. We do take the trade. So that's just going to help clear a path and get more damage in here. I could wait because Sir Ginger can get bigger when we crack more clue tokens, but I just want to try to clear a path to find lethal as quickly as possible. And I'm 1 mana off from Fateful Striking because this has Ward 2, but these can attack in already. Lazav can become a copy of a card from a grave. I can make it a 10th District Hero, which is just a 2/3. I can make it a Sir Ginger, though. So I can make it so I can attack in with all 3 of these. But if I do that, I don't have the mana to play any other spells because I have to crack a clue to make Lazav a Sir Ginger. Is it better to just cast a spell like Nissa here? It might be better to cast Vanifar because I trigger both the rookies, which is pretty big. Don't get to use Vanifar's ability. I suppose one of these is already just trading with the Raptor, though. You know what? Just gonna grind out max value here. I'm gonna go for the just turn it into a Sir Ginger thing. And if we have to crack 2 clue tokens this turn, we just crack 2 clue tokens. That's fine. Okay, no blocks. That is even better. Then we just get maximum damage in there. Drop a Nissa, and we still have an army in a can if they board wipe us. If they board wipe us, we've got a 3/4 plus a 2/2 because we get to cloak whatever we drew into, and we've got 2 extra cards off both these clue tokens. This is looking good. Just keeping the pressure on. They cast our Steam Core Scholar against us. It's like both the cards they got from the Outrageous Robbery were creatures for some blocks. All right, here's the Gumdrop Poisoner. Gain some life and clear out Nissa. But they're at 7 now. Top deck land is actually valuable to me here. Because that lets me crack a clue and play Vanifar in the same turn. And we're doing this pre-combat, so Vanifar can cloak something from our hand, but we drew Doppelgang, so instead I'll just put the counter on Sir Ginger, which is still some Vanifar value. The hope there was that we top deck something that we would be okay with cloaking. We get Vanifar and another creature, but I'm not going to cloak a Doppelgang. Alright, opponent is down to 3, but they have a lifelinker on the board. There's an Ezram. It's a big one. Gives them 2 clue tokens. They can sacrifice those clues for Vigilance, Lifelink, or Hexproof. So if they choose Lifelink, they have 8 life gain on blocks. Is there some way to find lethal here that I'm not seeing? If I Fateful Strike the Poisoner, they can give Ezram lifelink, basically gain 2, and kill Sharp-Eyed Rookie. If I Fateful Strike Ezram, they respond by giving it Hexproof, and they're both ready. I think I just attack both into the board and see if we can get them to cash in lifelink. Well, they know about the Fateful Strikes that are not going to shoot. I was going to say, if I attack both, they block and try to lifelink, I respond by Fateful Striking, but they don't need to lifelink. They'll still be at 6, and they'll kill one of our creatures for free. Yeah. Any way to gain life here so I can Doppelgang their Poisoner? No. Okay. And draw a card then, see if I had an untapped land for Intrude on the Mind, or something that we just want to cloak to Vanifar. Okay, that is a tapped land, so I think I just cloak that. Yeah, Ezram's just too big of a deal here. If I attack with one creature, they just block it with Ezram. I can't Fateful Strike Ezram because they have Hexproof mana up. If I attack with both, they do have to chump one of them, but another one's going to die for free. I think we have to pass. Maybe should have Fateful Strike the Gumdrop Poisoner during their draw step here. Because that would have made them discard 1 card. Well, exile 1 card if they didn't have an instant. Okay. So they've still got the 1 mana up to use Ezram's ability, but it costs them 2 life to get that 1 mana. So now I think we win by Fateful Striking the Poisoner. Well, no, because they can still gain 5 off of Ezram. But I could Doppelgang Ezram to force them to have... to spend the clue on Hexproof here. I think that's the thing. Green, blue, triple X. I can only do it for 1, but that's fine. So now, if they respond by giving it a Hexproof, they're dead. If they don't respond by giving it a Hexproof, then we've got an Ezram and a bigger Sharp-Eyed Rookie. Yeah, so they have to lifelink here. Let's go block, kill these things, and they can get lifelink. And this game is a mess. So they're at 1, gaining 5? So they're at 6, essentially. So they can let the rookie in. There are so many things to keep track of in these games. I'm sure there's so many lines of text. guess I just send in the rookie then. This doesn't buff anything, right? Yeah, they chump. Or they life gain trade and Ezreal off. We're still super, super favored. So when I say this game's a mess, I don't mean like it's going poorly for us or anything. I just mean these are not like super simple, straightforward lines to lethal or anything. Things are mucky because of all the abilities lying around here. Okay, they are going to lifelink trade here, I think. So they're down to 2 cards. We've got a massive board. We have 1 million clue tokens if they fully stabilize. Ooh, okay, that's scary. Can that make tokens? Oh, it can make 4 nightmare tokens because of Mondrak? Oh no, that's so many blockers. That doesn't block Ezreal though. Ezreal's not lethal though. Ezreal's 5 damage. Ezreal can kill the Ashiok. How do these get bigger? If a card was put into exile this turn, put a counter on them. Okay. Oh, well, there they go. How did they exile? Oh, if you would pay life while your library has that many cards in it, exile instead? So instead of having to pay life to the staff, they get to exile cards? Opponent is comboing off. Oh, God. Okay. So now all the nightmares are going to be 2/2s. Yeah. All right. That's threatening. Pylon? So now I can kill Ashiok and still hit them here? I think I would still rather just hit Ashiok because I can still one-shot them because of Intrude on the Mind. So I'll save Pylon for their next massive terrifying threat that they can draw into. So the plan here is to intrude on the Mind so that we have lethal damage in the sky. This is going to give us a Thopter token. That's at least a 1/1, which means we'll have 6 damage in the sky next turn. And if they want to use Staff of Completion, then they're dead to just 1 Ezreal hit. Oh no! When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain +X flying, where X is the number of creatures you control. Are we just dead? +5/+5 flying. Oh my god, we might just be dead. If I intrude on the Mind, I have 1 blocker up, and I can shoot that. That's still +5/+5 flying. That's still 7 apiece. 3 of them hit me, that's 21 damage. That's just... I think we're just dead. These piles don't matter at all because we're just dead. So we'll just do 2 and 3 so we at least get a 2/2 flyer. But we're dead? Mondrak Ashiok into Moonshaker Cavalry. We'll do that. And that's lethal in the sky. Ooh, unless they sack... Okay, I was going to say, unless they sack to give that indestructible, then they lose. Wow, by like 1 damage as well. That is insane. Alright, well. I mean, that felt like a game of 24 rares the format. the one time things could flippity floppity like that, just on a dime. I don't think there's much that we could have done to foresee this thing coming. Obviously, like, we could have played differently. And, well, I mean, not really. We didn't hit the pylon till later. I could have lifelinked with Ezram, but then I wouldn't have had the mana to pylon and intrude on the mind. So I would either kill one of the creatures or block one of the creatures, and I would still be dead. I would be at 5 more life, so I would be at 4 instead of -1 if I could cast both of the spells. Because essentially Pylon and Intrude on the Mind were both like 1 chump block. And I could only get one of the 2 chump blocks I'd need to survive if I had spent 1 mana on Ezram. Lifelink. And we only had Ezram around in time to attack with lifelink once. I don't think there was any other opportunities to gain life there. Yeah, like, I'm sure there were some ways to play that out that would have ended with not dying to cavalry, like just holding it up as a blocker or something, but I don't think there's anything we did particularly wrong. It just kind of comes out of nowhere with the haymaker, and we start things off with a loss. All right, here we are on the play with no green source. Love to see it, but Scholar can dig towards it, and Larcenist is just a really good card in general. The Feeder can dig as well with the Surveil. Okay, definitely ditch the next black source. Well, 3 of our 4 black sources, that's pretty wild. No, turn 2 Llanowar Loam Speaker, and we draw another green card. Well, at least I can turn that into 1 mana of any color instead of a mana of any color every single turn. Now just ramps them up the 1 time, unless they blow up my Larcenist. Hide in plain sight. Alright, cloak a couple cards out of the top 5. They can flip them up later for their mana cost if they're creatures. So clutter up the board. But we've got flying here. There's our green source. Beautiful. Let's go Team Vannifar. We have 2 ways to get more mana here, so I'm just going to cloak this land. And I think we play Watley, grab a basic. I realized if we put a single plains or mountain in here, it'd be easier to use Watley's flip. Watley's mainly just in here for the fixing, but technically we can flip her off of our dual lands sometimes. Oh. Well, opponent hates to see the Vannifar, so we get a quick victory there, shutting off their Mana Dork and dropping down a Vannifar. Maybe it was also because we shut off the Mana Dork. That was also an issue. Because they're playing Mycosynth Gardens as well for fixing, so they could be on like 4 or 5 color as well. So don't know exactly what it is that prompted the concession there, but it's a free event, so people are free to concede super early. And we are 1-1, checking out what we get for our first random rare reward. Now, these are duplicate protected, so if we open up something I already have 4 copies of, it's just going to be gems, which does happen quite a bit, but we'll see. Ooh, it's not gems. It's going to be War Leader's Call for Murders at Karlov Manor. Oh, right. I haven't opened all my Murders packs yet, or crafted these cards, so if they are going to be Murders at Karlov Manor rares, there's still plenty for me to open. I've got 164 regular packs and 32 alchemy packs. Yeah, we'll have to complete that set at a later time. All right, here we are on the draw now. We've got Underground Mortuary for green, black. Nissa can help get some blue mana. We do need to naturally draw at least 1 island to cast either of these spells. And if Nissa dies, we're going to need to find another blue source, so let's do some digging towards it. Surveil a forest into the graveyard. Playing against Boros. Uh-oh. No, not the invasion again. What are the odds? I'm annoyed. It's gonna hit the exact same card again too, because this is so much more important to get to all these cards. Maybe our opponent is particularly scared of something else, but looks like that is not the case. They pick the correct card, and they stop my mana ramp that helps lead into all of our 5+ mana rares. Ooh, I thought the thing had haste, but it does not, so we're chilling. Well, I hit the double black for outrageous robbery at least, even if we're not going to find the double blue. Case of the Uneaten Feast. Gain a life whenever they play a creature. What does the invasion do when it flips? Our opponent never did. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature that attacked this turn? Okay, that's a huge problem. Double Lamplight Phoenix. Alright. We got Joaquin and River Phoenix over there. Let's drop Vanifar, because that's all we can do. And I don't want to Cloak the Swamp because I can't cast Isildur's Fateful Strike without the second black source. So, do I Cloak to Fairy? I mean, I need to be blocking right now, and Vanifar's not helping block. I don't think I'm cloaking anything. I think I'm just sitting here, dying to some Phoenixes. They're going to be a 5/5 and a 4/4 after this turn because of the Light Shield. Sharp-Eyed Rookie. You're a little late. It's definitely quite a bit later than turn 2, so we're not really interested in casting that. I think I have to just kill this one Phoenix. What does Teferi do? Does Teferi kill anything? No, and Teferi also doesn't make flyers. I don't have double blue anyway. So it's just Nissa or Fateful Strike. Yeah, we just Fateful Strike before they have the evidence engrave. If this is that elephant thing, they get to exile the Phoenix, put it back on the battlefield. Looks like it is not that elephant thing, though. Totally forgot about this. I guess the Sharp-Eyed Rookie at least gives us something decent to cloak. Now that they have a face down, we might actually be able to block on the ground. And I'm definitely not attacking with Vanifar. We want to preserve our life total. Oh my god, it's Aurelia's Vindicator. So we're not blocking on the ground again. Oh, that's so much worse than the elephant thing that would have let them flicker. I could play one blocker and take exact lethal. We are super dead. Alright, back at it again on the draw. We've got the Sharp-Eyed Rookie turn 2, which is great, but we have the only creature in our deck that doesn't buff the Rookie to follow it up, so that's a little sad. I think it's still a definite keep. Getting to go 2-drop, 3-drop. Playing against Boros again. I am scared. We do not have a lot of removal. Or flyers. I do have a very squeaky chair, though. That's what I've got. What does the staff do outside of mana? Not much, because it costs so much life. No! You are not supposed to play flyers, friend. I have issues with those. Okay, so Steam Core Scholar is not great here. Staff is fine, or Lazav. I like the Lazav for triggering the Rookie, getting a clue and all that set up. Staff seems unplayable against Boros. That has already started with a flyer. I don't think we can afford to shoot our face. I'll just start with Lazav here, because Steam Core Scholar doesn't even help block this Investigator anyway. And then we can Vanifar, and the rookie's going to be up to 4/4 stats since we triggered it this turn and next turn. Ew, removal. Heart Flame Duelist shoots rookie in the face. Well, there's a new one. Play the new one and crack the clue to turn Lazov into another one. Sure. Again, I don't really think I want to play the staff. Oh yeah, I have to attack to do that. Never mind. Can't make Lazov a rookie then. Because if I attack in, they'll just bounce off, and if I make Lazov rookie post-combat, then Lazov will die. Can this... Oh, Lazov only becomes a copy till end of turn anyway. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Alright, there we go. We found removal, which is beautiful. Got the mana to go Vanifar. Cloak and Pylon. I think I'm going to cloak the staff, and then I'll cloak the robbery if we still don't find the black source later. But I am about to surveil too, which could help find a second black source to naturally cast the robbery. Board wipe! Okay, well I have to pile on while I still have the creatures to tap for this thing. You're playing Boros and it's not aggro? This is outrageous. Ooh, Hulking Raptor. Can this discard a sorcery? Yes, it can. Yeah, I'll just cast a Scholar. I guess I can cast both of these, right? No, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase. Okay, so it doesn't give me mana initially. Okay, let's cast the Scholar. If it doesn't find a black source in the draws... I'm gonna say I discard the robbery, but now I have two different uncastable spells. Fateful Strike is even harder to cast, because if I lose Vanifar, then things are just even less likely to work out. Could cloak the Raptor. Or I can just cloak an island to up the number of creatures we have as early as possible. Let's do that. They're at 35, by the way. That was a life-linking Brotherhood's End from Heartflame Duelist. And now they get to make triple tokens. Are we about to die to triple tokens again? Last time it was to double tokens. I surely hope not. Okay, we'll intrude the mind during their end step to find a black source for outrageous robbery, and then we'll just like cast their deck against them. That's the plan. We have got issues if they make some tokens though, because we do not have removal. No. The Bone Horde Dracosaur, which at the beginning of their upkeep makes 3/1 dinosaurs and treasure tokens. Either of those would get tripled by O'Hare. And we've already drawn both of our pieces of interaction in the deck, so I think we just lose to Wombo combos like this, because, oh, well, I mean, I could doppelgang one of their cards. I can't doppelgang both. And none of these are the black source. I guess Nissa is sort of the black source. Sure, well, let's doppelgang or let's set up a black source off Nissa for the robbery. maybe the robbery can find removal, but at this point, I mean, Dracosaur is just popping off in about 2 milliseconds. Well, there's the black source, but it's tapped. Okay, so... just establish a board state. Red mana for anger. Cool. Okay, neither of those cards really do anything, so they can just keep them exiled. Wait, did O'Hare not? Oh, O'Hare only works on creature tokens, so it doesn't triple the treasures. At least there's that. Uh-oh. Non-combat damage is getting doubled now, too? Look at all these gods. Oh, I guess the Phyrexian horrors are not gods. They're basically gods. Basically the Phyrexian gods. So many really bad things could happen here. Okay. Okay. I mean, maybe they can mill themselves out. Right? They exile every time connecting the dots works. They exile with Bonehorde Dracosaur. We're about to exile with Outrageous Robbery. Exile 5 of their cards. Well, these are not super useful. And I can't cloak them, which is sad. I don't think I have any way in this deck to put counters on Dusk Legion Duelist. If it was colorless, I would. Maybe Talion's Messenger puts a counter on any creature? I'm not sure, though. Nope, just a fairy specifically. Yeah, it triggers when you attack with a fairy, and it puts a counter on a fairy. Well, they got their 3 dinos. What is Invasion of Theros? Search for an aura, god, or demigod? Well, I don't have gods in this deck, I think. And if we flip it, it's just a Phara, which is not very good. It's an enchantment build around. They had 2 Dusk Legion Duelists. Well, we have 3, we have 3 of the thing that keeps leveling up. Hello, Doppelgang. Okay. Well... they've only got 11 cards left? Is there anything I can copy that'll mill them here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can do Doppelgang for 8 to get 2 copies of things. No, I could just copy things that would mill myself right now. So let's just hold off on the Doppelgang till we have more mana, like off of Hulking Raptor and playing more lands. And then just use it for huge blocks. Yeah, I have nothing for that. For that invasion. What is this one? Sir Ginger? Okay. We are just holding up massive blocks and trying to survive our opponent milling out, because they draw 1 card and they exile 2, so that's 3 cards a turn going away from their deck. They're down to 8 cards now. 2 to each creature and opponent. Is there anything I can save from that? No, all of my 2 toughness creatures, I don't have any tricks to buff them up in response. Okay. That kills all their dinos too. And the Codebreaker. And the Duelist. Alright. Wait, what? Oh, Soul Theme! It's 4 damage! No! That's lethal! I don't think we could have lived, but I couldn't have saved any of my creatures against that. Double damage, so it was 4 damage. If I flipped Raptor up, it would have been a 6/4 and still died. I could have flipped Sir Ginger up and eaten Sir Ginger. That was the play. Well, alright. Yeah, that was wild. Well, this is a really nice start, but we're on the draw again, which is not as nice. Ooh, I'm all in. It's rookie time. Let's start investigating. What are you? You're perfect mana fixing, right? Yeah, that is really threatening in this format. Actual perfect mana fixing. 3/3. Oh, tapped land, so we can hit Ren for 3. Which I think is worth it. To not play another rookie here. Especially because now if I top deck a land, I have 4 mana next turn.
Must hold on.
I mean, I guess I have 5, actually. I'm a doofus. Nissa gives me the extra mana, so if I top deck a land, I get to go Rookie and Messenger or Rookie and Larcenist. I don't even have to go Rookie Lazov, which would be the plan if we didn't have a Nissa. Axebane Ferox, big Death Toucher to help protect the very important Planeswalker. Never mind. They straight up sacrificed the Planeswalker to put a land in their hand. So I guess they do not consider the Planeswalker as important as we do. But we didn't know they were just 2 color. It looks like they're straight up just Gruul, so that mana fixing is not that important for our opponent. Perfect. We've got the 5 mana that we were looking for. So I can go Rookie plus Larcenist, turn that Ferox into a treasure token. Oh wait, no I can't. I don't have the evidence to do that. Which means instead we Messenger to buff the Rookie. Yep. And then once Talion's Messenger attacks, we might be able to discard enough evidence to collect to get around the ward and get a huge swing in. Really glad I didn't try to doppelgang there. That would have been really bad. Doppelgang without the evidence, just counter it. Roaming Throne. If they choose whatever Ferox is, probably a beast, then it has double ward, so we need 8 evidence in our graveyard. Yeah, we'd have to collect evidence for twice. Alright, we are once again hoping for top deck land. That way I can at least Larcenist the Roaming Throne, so if they choose a non-Ferox creature type, we just turn that into a treasure token and don't worry about them going absolutely crazy, because I think the only reason they would choose anything other than Beast is if they're planning something insane with another card from their hand. Assassin? Yeah, I wish I knew the cards a little bit better, because I have no idea what that could mean. We did not hit a land, so we can't Larcenist Roaming Throne because Ward. Because everybody loves Ward. But we can send in 2 Sharp-Eyed Rookies that they can't block well. Or I can draw a card, discard a card, and really hope for the land. I feel like it's probably better to get the guaranteed double Rookie swing than it is to gamble on the land. Well, we did hit that land, so that's a little sad. Oh. Alright, they are over it. I mean, this is a really impressive board state. I really want to know what assassin they had coming up, though. Because that could have been terrifying. That is our 2nd win now, so we get another random rare reward, and that is going to be... Gems. gems this time around. Now that I didn't do the whole spiel about how it was pretty likely to be gems. Now it's gems. All right, let's head back into the gameplay, see if we can't get our third victory for the best prize. This absolutely adorable card sleeve. All right, here we are for what could be the final game. If we can find the victory here, this is turning into a really explosive hand. Sharp-Eyed Rookie combos really well with Sir Ginger, which combos with a Call, which combos with Vannifar. Like this hand potentially goes wild. I think we just Rookie into a Call. That's going to get us the Investigate. It's going to make Rookie a 3/3. It's going to get us the Clue to trigger a Call for that draw. Alternatively, though, because a Call is 5 toughness, I can wait on a Call so that the Rookie gets even bigger. Right, because I could go Sir Ginger into Vannifar into a Call and have a 5/5 Rookie if they don't have interaction. There's not a lot at rare, but they are black-white, so it's a relatively likely color to find something. Massacre Girl, turn 4 on the play. Yeah, big, scary, evasive threats from our opponent very quickly. Okay, let's Vannifar up to 4/4 stats. Cloak, or do I buff Sir Ginger? I think I actually buff Sir Ginger, and then our swings are good here. It's going to be a back and forth, for sure. All right, they're down to 12. They're going to start cracking some clues. Maybe not so much of a back and forth. Maybe we can just get there with a bunch of counters and cloaked threats. Because that has been... most of their mana just spent cracking clues now, instead of impacting the board, which means we can probably get in for quite a bit more damage next turn. Yeah, to the point where they hold off the Massacre Girl. Let's drop the Theater and Surveil. I think with a Doppelgang coming up, I actually would rather just play Hulking Raptor than a Call, because both or either would trigger the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. And this way I have a bunch of mana next turn if they don't deal with the Raptor. Maybe you should have even just cloaked a Call at this point, since a 4/2 and a 5/3 are very close to the same stat line against Massacre Girl. But I guess this makes it so they can't just 1-for-1 the Investigator into Sir Ginger, so this is still worth it. They just wither away 2 +1/+1 counters instead of killing Sir Ginger. Yep. Alright, they got 6 mana, but they are 2 pretty board wipe heavy colors. That would be their biggest way to try to flip this game around. Although, honestly, I have no idea. When everything's Rares and Mythics, insane stuff can happen. Maybe there's going to be a giant sky pony that sends their 4 Ashiok Nightmares into the sky. Something really wild again. Vein Ripper, that is something really wild. It's probably not good enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm 1 mana off from the double Doppelgang. Okay. Well, let's call the Sharp-Eyed Rookie up to being bigger. And we can crack 2 clues to make Sir Ginger bigger. Math is for blockers. Let's just send it in here. This is lethal. Because they block the 2 biggest creatures, and they take lethal damage before Vein Ripper gets to activate its ability. Yep, take 7 and die. Alright. Luckily, Vein Ripper's ability, while it would have drained us for a ton of life there, doesn't trigger till after they take all of the combat damage. So that will be our third victory, and we get that adorable card sleeve to wrap up the events. And here it is, the Rambling Possum. Well, that does it for the April Fool's Golden Pack sealed event. As you can see, really explosive, pretty fun time, so absolutely check out the event yourself. You also, like any midweek Magic event, are going to get 2 random rare rewards and a cosmetic, but this time around it's not a mystery, it's an adorable little possum. So very cool event, had a fun time with the deck, pretty happy with the build, loved the Sharp-Eyed Rookie combo stuff that we got to actually play around with quite a bit, like in that last game. And the Vanifars being our biggest, most consistent win condition was pretty nice as well. Yeah, just had a pretty fun time in the event, and it was a nice little April Fool's Day soiree. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in seeing more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below, where I'm live every Wednesday. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.